I am uh, talking to you today about growth. We're talking about goal setting for increased productivity, increased profits for your real estate investment business. Hey Lala, how you doing over there on Instagram? Just so you guys know, I do simulcast. I'm currently on Instagram, inside my Facebook group Hammers and Heels, and also on YouTube live right now. So if you can, just do me a favor and drop the hello and let me know where you are from. I would appreciate it because it's always good to see people. Okay, now just so you guys know, on YouTube, on Facebook, I can't see your names because of the service that I'm using to simulcast. It doesn't show me your names. So you have to say, hi, this is so and so from wherever. Okay, hip hop in my world, like hip hop. Hey, baby, how you doing? So today, for those of you who have not been following the series, I do still have it up on YouTube, on Instagram, and inside the Hammers and Hills Facebook group. We are talking about goal setting for increased productivity and increase profits for your real estate business. So, what I need you guys to do is grab your pens and papers because today we're going to be talking about money because that's what we're in business for. We're in business to serve people, but we're also in business to make money. Okay. So, we're going to be talking about money and how, oh, goodness, this hair is all over the place. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, are you from LA? Hi. I have a lot of clients now on the West Coast and I love it. I love it. Cali is amazing. I went to LA a couple years ago. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Delisa Robinson. I am your favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. My What do I do? I am a real estate investor. I'm a real estate developer. I'm a real estate broker. I do all things real estate. My primary coaching and trainings are centered around teaching you, those of you, how to get into the real estate investment business with little to no money out of pocket using creative finance strategies that have been fine tuned, tested, and tried and true by your girl. Okay, I don't teach what I don't know, and I don't pretend to know what I don't know. If you ask me a question and I don't know, I'm definitely going to say, let me find out. I get back to you, because I don't aspire to be the smartest person in the room. If I am the smartest person in the room, you best believe I'm going to find a new room, because that's what we do. Okay, so I do have a degree in business with my concentrations in marketing, advertising, and public relations. I am a mom, I am a sister, I am a daughter, I am a cousin, and I am a best friend, big friend, sister friend, bossy, however you want to say it. But your girl is out here teaching you and hoping to educate you on the ins and outs of real estate development. Why? Why am I so passionate about everybody knowing how to get into real estate? There's a lot of different reasons. Number one, nobody ever taught me. Y'all hear that? Nobody ever taught me. They didn't teach me this in school. My family didn't grow up knowing about real estate. I had one uncle who knew about real estate, but he wasn't teaching everybody else in the family. I had no one to teach me how to live a passive princess life. Yes, I said passive princess. Queen's got too much responsibility. I don't want to be no queen. Princess life me, please. Okay. So I want nobody taught me how to live that life, how to create passive income for myself, how to create a side hustle for myself, how to add additional income to my bottom line so that we don't go broke, so that we don't do things that we can get out here and hurt ourselves with. So, what we're going to do this series is just teaching you how to set the proper goals for yourself. And I'm going to tell you the mistakes that I made along the way while we're doing this, because how do you learn? From me making mistakes. I don't want you to go out and make the same mistake that I made. Okay. All right. Hey Mike, how you doing? I gotta call you back. I know you called me, I think it was this morning, and I saw it this morning, and I will call you back. um so what we're doing now, so let's talk about the rules of engagement for being on live with your girl. Okay, first of all, if I say something and you have no clue what I'm talking about, ask the question, please, so I can give you clarity, I can give you clarification, and I can guide you or tell you I don't know, but let me find out and I will get back to you. That's number one. Number two, If this is your first time here, don't let it be your last. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Number 3, share this live. Share it out with your people. If you're inside the Hammers and Hills Facebook group, unfortunately, you can't share, but you can tag other people within the group and tell them that they need to be in on this. Also, if you're on Instagram, share this video and invite 5 people from your friends list, from your followers list, however you want to call it. Invite them in and tell them they need to get in on this. Because not only are we going to talk about the money and how to get and how to set your monetary goals so that your structured productivity goals, your structured your productivity, your admin goals, your system goals. We're going to talk about how all of that affects your monetary goal. Okay. So while we're talking about that, here's what I want you guys to do. Now, while I was doing all that, you should have been doing this. Grabbing your pens, grab your papers, grab your tablets, whatever it is that you use to take notes, because we are about to get started on part 3. And no, that's not the Illuminati sign for all y'all conspiracy theorists. That's called the number 3. All right. Now, for this exercise, I might need a volunteer. So if you are on Instagram, or I think you can do, you might be able to do it on YouTube too, but I'm not sure. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So now what I want you guys to do is this. Think about it. Yesterday we used the goal of $100,000 in 30 days. Now, and remember how we said you had to write down your goals. You got to break your goals down. If I say I want to make $100,000, that's the goal. I want to make $100,000. So that's the goal. How? Wholesaling real estate from May 18th, which was yesterday, to June 18th. That gives me 30 days. You get what I'm saying now? So that'll give me, it actually gives me 31 days, but who's counting? So from May 18th to June 18th, I want to make $100,000 wholesaling real estate. Why? Because I've done it before and I want to do it again. And I want to be more consistent at doing those types of numbers. Okay. So now we broke down what I would need in order to get that deal, to get this goal met and sent. We broke that down. Okay. Now we broke that down to be $3,400 a day, but we're not selling anything. So we have to go by contracts because it takes a while for real estate deals to close. Same thing you need to keep in mind as well. It takes a while for real estate deals to close. Not only am I going to teach you how to set goals in this series, it's going to give you a little idea of how you can do consistency. Okay. And as you're doing consistency in this process, you're going to learn how to make money. All right. Now, how am I going to accomplish this? You have to break it down. The who, the what, the where, the when, the why, and the how. Okay. Who's going to help you? Because you can't do all that by yourself. I can't do it all by myself. I can't. So who's going to help me? These are my systems. These are my people that I need. This is my team. This is where I'm going to build network equity, so to speak. Okay. So leads, that's going to help me. JV partners, that's going to help me. So if any of you guys out there know of anybody who's selling a home, who wants to buy a home, who's looking for investment properties, let me know, because I have some properties coming up. And I also have buyers looking. So if you have properties for sale, I have buyers that are looking. I also have properties for sale. And if you have buyers that are looking. Okay. So that's how you do that. And we said deposits. So the deposits count toward the contract and the overall goal. Okay. So far, I have $9,000 under contract, because on my productivity, and tomorrow I'm going to show you how I track my thing. I'm going to be on early tomorrow morning because I got a lot to do tomorrow. So I'm going to be on early tomorrow morning, and we're going to track I'm going to show you how I track my process, how I track my progress from lead to close. Okay. Now I got to say, how many homeowners am I going to, so we talked about productivity goals. How many homeowners am I going to call? How many am I going to send letters to? How many letters am I going to send out? How many text messages am I going to send? So that's another one. So when we get all of that, now we have to break this out. I need $100,000 in 30 days. My minimum assignment fee is $5,000. That's what I usually charge. It's gone up to 10. It's gone up to 10 with inflation, just so y'all know. But it goes to 10. So if I need $100,000 and I have a $5,000 minimum, that means I need to close 20 deals. If I have a $10,000 minimum, I have to close 10 deals. Now, y'all know I'm mathematically challenged, so that's what we're going to work out. So if I have a $15,000 minimum, that means I have to close. Oh, goodness. Y'all know I'm crazy, right? Divided by 15,000. That means I have to close 7 deals. 15,000. It comes out to 6.66666, but we're just going to round it up to 7. Okay, I have to close 7 deals to make that happen, because if I only close 6 deals, it's going to leave me short. So now what I have to do is I have 30 days. So I have one deal at 9,000. So my $100,000 subtract 9,000. Deal hasn't closed yet, so it's contract. And I'm going to turn this around in just a second and show you guys. So now I'm down to 91,000. Okay. And I am going to see how that is. So this is my process telling me how many deals I need. If I make 15,000, then I'm going to need 7 more deals. If I make 10,000, I'm only going to need 10 more deals. 5,000 is 20 more deals. That's how that works. So I also have to keep in contract. I wanted to make 100,000. See that Instagram, see that YouTube and Facebook, 100,000. But I have 9,000 under contract that's completed. When I say under contract, that means it's a wholesale deal. The seller has signed with me and the buyer has signed with me. That's a fully executed contract. Okay. So now $91,000 I need, and I still have 30 days left because today is the 19th. So 91,000, and you divide that by the 30 days I have left, I now need $3,300, $3,033.33333. Now remember, I needed 3,400. So now we're at 3,100 because we're just going to round it up to the nearest 100. So now for today's goal, I need $3,100, which we know is not going to happen. So if I need 91,000, I still need 20 deals if I'm only doing 5,000. And I still need 10 deals if I'm only doing 10,000. And I'm still going to need the 7 because I haven't hit that second tier yet. So now let's say today I contract a property and I get $20,000 off of it. It happens, people. I've gotten my highest commission to date on a wholesale deal is $50,000. So it does happen. So if I get $20,000 on this next deal, so now I only need 71,000. So then you redo it. At the end of each week, at the end of every day, you should be reviewing your goals. At the end of each week, you should review them again to make sure. Remember, we are working backwards. So I'm doing 100K in 30 days. Your goal might be 100,000 for the year. Your goal might be 200 for the year. Your goal might be 100,000 for the quarter. You want to sell. Your goal may not be built on a monetary level. It might be built on a numerical level. I want to sell, if you're a real estate agent, I want to sell 25 houses this year. So you have that. Or if you're a wholesaler, I want to do 100 deals this year. You don't care about the dollar amount. You just want to do 100 deals. So whatever your deal is. So if you're writing this down and you've been with me for the whole series, give me in the comments some of your goals. What are some of the goals that you're using for this exercise? Okay. Now, and remember the other day we said on average, every 3 days, I'm getting a lead. So remember the other day we said, going back to my notes, that was from last night's class. Okay. So every week we're getting at least 3 leads. So if we're getting 3 leads a week, and there are 4 weeks in a month, you're getting 12 leads overall. Every lead is not going to turn into a deal. It just means that somebody wanted to sell their house, you called, you talked to them. I just want one deal. I'm going to try to commit myself to at least 50 calls a week. Okay, that's her goal. Her goal is now, and this is Lala over on Instagram. She wants to make 50 calls a week. That's all. That's her goal, and that's a productivity goal that will turn into a monetary goal. So she's trying to get one deal. Her first deal, it might be her first deal. She might have done wholesaling before. Now she's getting back into it. So she's easing her way back into it. So she has 50 calls. Now there are 5 days a week that you're going to call. Y'all gonna ask me this, so I'm gonna tell you. 5 days a week that you're going to call. You do not call people on Sundays unless you want to get cussed out. Okay. Now, some people will talk to you on a Sunday. I'm not going to lie. Some people will, but the majority of them won't. Sundays are church, family, rest, relaxation. I don't do business on Sundays. Some people feel like that on Saturdays. So, Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the time zone that you're working. So, if you are in New York, but your time zone is California, you are not making phone calls until 12 p.m. noon. Okay, just to give you an idea. And if you're in California, but you're working in New York, sweetie, you better get up a little bit earlier because you got to start making phone calls at 6 o'clock in the morning. See how that works? Now, so when Lala says that she's going to do 50 calls a week, we only call 5 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. That's when I call. I call Monday through Saturday, Monday through Thursday, and then on Saturday mornings. Do I still make phone calls? Yes, I do. Right now I am, because that's another story time with a bad VA that we just had. So yeah, I just to check the VA's work, I started making phone calls, and yeah, it turned out to be a doozy. So what happened is I started making phone calls to check the VA because the VA was giving us a BS report. Oh, I made all these phone calls. 4 people said they weren't interested. Every day for 4 days, 4 people did not say they were not interested. And this is something I'm going to go over with you guys when we get to systems. Okay. And systems is a whole nother thing. I'm going to teach you how to inspect what you expect. And you have to, or you will get got. In this, we were paying this VA, we were paying for the skip tracer, and everybody's trying to figure out where is the break, where is the disconnect. So I took the same list that we gave to our VA and I started making phone calls. The very first person I talked to said they wanted to sell their house. 3 or 4 more people down the line said, oh, I just sold, or I wanted to sell. What pissed me off about the just sold is the fact that we gave this list to our VA 2 months ago, and she just sold last month. So that means, had you been doing your job, I would have been able to get her to call me back, and I would have been able to get that deal. That's the way I look at it. So you're wasting my money and my time. Now I'm pissed and I got an attitude. So that's how that works. Okay. Now, just to give y'all a quick story time, what happens behind the scenes here at Diva Land. Okay. So now, if Lala, we're going to use Lala because I'm going to tell you my goals and how I break my stuff down too, but I'm also going to work with someone who's volunteered the information. So 50 calls a week. That means she's going to make a minimum of 10 calls per day. But guess what's going to happen? You're going to start making phone calls. And if you start talking to people, you're going to keep making more phone calls. And so the next thing you know, you're making 50 calls a day. That's just how it works. It's human nature. It's a part of what keeps people going. Okay. So that is why you're in that. That's why it's like, if I'm doing well, if somebody keeps telling you yes, if you call somebody and you get a yes on your first phone call, you're going to want to make 5 more phone calls. But here's the flip side of that. Some of you guys remember yesterday earlier this week, we talked about mindset, and you got to believe you can do it. We also talked about how if the people are telling you no, you kind of get discouraged. So that's why she's limiting herself to 10 phone calls, because that's human nature. And I would want to do that too. I work 15 addresses a day. Now, see and I'll show you guys the way my spreadsheet is set up. I make 15 addresses a day, and I'm gonna see if I can get you guys in here. See if I can get it in here and share my screen, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I can't do it right now because I don't want to disconnect you guys on Instagram. I mean on Facebook and YouTube. I don't want to disconnect you guys because I don't know how to work my system. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'll bring up the spreadsheet and I'll show you guys what it is, the process of what it is. Okay. Now, so if Lala is making 50 phone calls a day, here's the kicker. Pay attention to when you are making phone calls. When are people answering you the most? The problem with a lot of people who say, I'm not getting any responses, nobody's answering the phone, everybody I talk to has told me no. The reason for that is because you're calling at the wrong time of day. And I know a lot of y'all saying, well, people work from home now. We could call whenever we want. No, you can't, because those people work from home. That means during those hours, they still have to work. All right. So if you want to call and you want to switch things up, call between the hours of 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. in the time zone that you're marketing. Call between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And I'm telling you, 20 years of working in a call center, doing collections, making over 6 figures every year has taught me when to make phone calls. Okay? Just so y'all know. It has taught me when to make phone calls. So that is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So that's how we get that worked out. Okay, something happened. I was like, something went wrong there. I didn't figure out what it was. Okay, so that's how we're going to get that done. Now, another thing that I want you guys to pay attention to, when you are monetary goals, your monetary goal seems really big and it can be overwhelming. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have a goal for $100,000 in 30 days, but my real goal is $1 million for the year. And that combines all of my income sources, not just wholesaling real estate. But think about it. If I did $100,000 every month, I would make 1.2 million. But I haven't done it every month because I haven't been fully focused and committed on it every month. We're going to talk about the fact that I had COVID and was down for 2-3 weeks. So we're not going to talk about that either. But now your girl is back. And I'm getting ready to celebrate my birthday in a couple weeks. I'm so excited. Yes, Gemini loading. Okay. So when we're talking about your monetary values, the monetary goals that you set for yourself, don't look at the bigger goal, but break it down so it doesn't overwhelm you. Everybody knows this number, $274. $274 a day gets you $100,000 by the end of the year. Yep, it does. Everybody knows that number. So if you do 274 times 365, you make $110,000. $100,010. That's what you make. $100,000. So you need $274. So for those of you who are paying attention and you have other businesses and real estate is just your side hustle, great. I applaud you. I said it the other day. I posted a reel and a TikTok video the other day. You do not have to quit your 9 to 5 to do real estate, but you do have to have systems in place for it to work effectively and efficiently. Okay. So when we break down this goal, the monetary goal, so you want to make $100,000 in wholesaling for the year. You want to be a 6-figure wholesaler. That's $274 per day that you need to do. Now, we know we're getting ready to go to month 6. June 1st starts the first day of the 6th month of the year, which means half the year is already gone. So you no longer have 365 days. You got 180 days. So you have 180 days divided into that 100,000 if you haven't made the 100, if you haven't started yet. And believe me, if you're wholesaling real estate or if you're doing Airbnb, you still have time to make $100,000 this year. Okay. If you're in real estate sales, you still have time to make $100,000 this year. So don't let these people fool you. If you're a wholesaler, you still have time to make $1,000,000 this year. It just all depends on you and your work ethic. So that leads me to our next goal, which is productivity. How does your productivity affect your monetary goals? Your productivity goals affect your monetary goal. So we're going to go back to Lala. She said 50 calls in a week. So she's making 10 calls a day. If she gets one, if she gets one person a week, just one person per week to say, hey, yeah, I want to sell my house. And she makes a minimum of $5,000 per person. That's $20,000 in a month. I just told you we got 6 months left. That's 120,000. See how the math, once you break down the numbers, it seems more feasible. It seems like you can do it. It seems like you can get it done. So you still can. My student Mia, you guys saw we posted her Airbnb, her third Airbnb unit the other day. She's well over 6 figures for 2022 with only 2 Airbnb units. She kicked ass with just 1 Airbnb unit. So in the past year, she's opened now 3 Airbnb units. And that's because she slowed down and took her time. I'm bringing them right to you because I'm scared I'm going to ruin the deal. You are not going to ruin the deal. But yes, if you do have a deal that if you guys have a wholesale deal that you're not completely sure about the numbers on, I will be more than happy to talk to you guys. Even if you're watching, even if you're not watching this live and you come back later and you're watching a replay, I will be more than happy to try and help you figure out your numbers. Okay. I'm actually working. That's something else I wanted to give to you guys too. I'm actually working on a deal with a group on Facebook. I'm not going to say the group just yet because I don't want y'all rushing over there because we don't know what date, what time, nothing. But I am going to do a free wholesaling training inside their group. Yep, me and the moderator, me and the admin for the group have been talking back and forth, and we actually have to finalize all the details today. Once all the details are finalized, I will be more than happy to give you guys the information, let you know what it is. Okay. Now it's going to be a free wholesale training, and we're going to go from start to finish through the whole wholesaling process. So if you are interested in wholesaling, make sure you follow me because I will be broadcasting this out live. I will be putting it all over. I might even put it on my YouTube channel. We'll see and how that goes. So we're going to do this. But yeah, back to what Lala said. If you guys are not comfortable negotiating your deals and you still want to make money with me, I can negotiate that deal and pay you a finder's fee for bringing me the deal and do it all. Okay. So we can do that. Now, another thing, and I want you guys listen to me well. Stop doubting yourselves. You can do this. Okay. You can do this. It's very simple. It's a process. You can set your goals so that you increase your productivity. I work 6 hours a day. That's it. I commit myself to 6 hours a day. Why? Because I know after 6 hours, I'm no longer productive. My mind starts to wondering about a million other things that I could possibly be doing. That is why I put it out there to you guys in the very beginning. What did I say? I time block my days. Some days I might work 2 in the afternoon to 8 at night. Sometimes I might work 4 in the afternoon till 6 at night. Sometimes I'm sitting in front of my desk because this is my desk. I'm in my office. Sometimes I'm in this office for 8 hours, depending on how caught up I get in what I'm doing. I forget to eat. I forget to sleep. I forget to take my walk that I'm supposed to take every day. Some things they can overwhelm you and can consume you. And I'm telling you guys that is not the way you want to live. Okay. You want to live a life of balance from the beginning, because if you refuse to balance yourselves in the beginning, you will completely run this grind rat race. Whoever told y'all that you're supposed to work, don't listen to Rihanna. Okay. She working and she made billions. But guess what? She living her life on the beach right now. Somebody else is running them companies. She is paying people to make her money. And that's where you strive to be. So off my soapbox a little bit, but just where I need to be. It's a little bit off my soapbox, but where I needed to be. So when we set goals for ourselves, we have to break them down, and you work in reverse. So if I want to make 100,000, I got to break that down by month. And for real estate, you need to break it down by month because deals don't close every single day. I know I see people out here, oh, I closed 30 deals last month, but they didn't close one deal a day. Okay. They might have closed 3 deals on this day, 4 deals on that day, and they might not even close 30 deals in a month. You closing 30 deals. If you close a deal, that means you close 365 deals a year. 30 deals, 360 deals a year if you close a deal. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to think about the information that you're being given. And if this person is actually doing the numbers that they're doing, why are they trying to sell you a course? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So sometimes you have to look at that. All right. Now, like I tell you, do I coach? Yes. Am I taking coaching clients right now? No. And I'll tell you why later. But right now, I'm not taking any new clients. And the reason for that, I can tell you now, the reason for that is because I need to upgrade some of my courses. I need to revamp some of my courses. I need to swap them in and out. I need to remove some courses. And it's that time of the year where I do all of my evaluation on my programs. July 5th, we do have coaching coming up. We have the 12-week real estate academy coming up. We're going to do short-term. We're going to build real estate portfolios, rental portfolios, short-term rentals and long-term rentals. So if you're interested in Airbnb, that's the course you want to be in. Now, if you're interested in that, DM me the word, or if you're on Facebook, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, put the word, DM me that you're interested in 12 weeks. Just say, I want 12 weeks in the comments or in my inbox. And I will more than happily follow up with you and send you the links that you're going to need so you can start getting all the course pre-work. Because this is 12 weeks of us building you, hopefully, a 7-figure, at least a 6-figure income off of these properties. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, enough about that. But like I said, that doesn't start till July 5th. And you guys can see I haven't even started promoting it really yet. So when we talk about our monetary goals, Lala wants to make 50 calls a week. Okay. So we have 50 calls a week. My call center background is going to tell her that's not enough. But you know what? It depends on the list that she's working. So that's a system. That's how your system goals, your system resources are going to tell you. Now, if she doesn't have systems in place, Coastal, PropStream, what is Landglide, Deal Machine. If she doesn't have anything like that in place where she can pull lists from, that means she's driving for dollars. So for her, she now has to include in her time block and her goal setting, driving for dollars. How long is she going to drive? What neighborhood is she driving in? What type of properties are she looking for? What type of conditions is she looking for? How many before she stops? How long will she be driving? That is properly driving for dollars. Okay. And I'll put the link up. And I'll give you guys this. It's a $1 guide on how to properly drive for dollars. I'll put the link up later today. And I'll write myself a note so I don't forget, because Lord knows I forget. I'm forgetful. Okay, so you want to know exactly how you're going to goal set for the money, but now you have to put systems in place so that you can get that done. And I'll give you an idea. When I worked in collections, I did student loan collections for the United States Department of Education. We had to, and I did some colleges too. We had to have, we had our goal set by management. Management told us how much we had to collect each month as collectors. And then the managers, which I was operations manager, I went all the way up to assistant vice president at the different companies that I worked with. So as a division manager, I had to have my managers that worked under me, they had to have certain goals and tolerances that I would not, and things that I would not tolerate, and know what was going on. Hi King, how are you? So when I'm this is a class that I'm teaching. I'm not letting people into the live right now. So what we did was, if my goal, if I had 10 people on my team as the operations manager, I had 10 people on my team. Okay. 12 people. And then I had two supervisors and they each had people under them. So now we as a group have to hit $10 million. Does that mean each person on my team now has a goal? You said 10 million. Guess what goal I gave them? 15. Because it's not good for us to hit bare minimum when you work. If anybody has ever worked in collections before, you know bare minimum can still get you fired. Bare minimum doesn't make you any money. You have to go above and beyond, and that's why you get a higher goal. So I might have one person who's phenomenal at things. So I had to figure out which way did I manage my team effectively, manage my team and my time effectively, so that each person can hit their numbers and do what they need to do. Is everybody going to hit their number? No, you're not. It's just not going to happen. Everybody's not going to hit the goal every single month. It's possible, but it's not probable. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, you have a goal of $15 million. So now I know my team has a goal of $15 million in my head. So now I'm going to break this down. My supervisors who are still collecting they have to bear some responsibility to this. Now their goals might be 2 million apiece. So that's four of it, right? Now I have 10 more people that have to carry the rest of that load. What strategies am I going to put in place? Here is what we do in real estate. I want $20,000 a month. I want $100,000 a month. That means I have to say, how many times am I going to make phone calls? Or am I going to get my VA to help me make these phone calls? So I might pull a list, say for St. Louis, and give that list to my VA and let her call that list. And I might pick Buffalo or Milwaukee, and I might pull that list and call it myself. So now she's calling and I'm calling. Guess what? I'm only going to call 15 to 20 properties per day. And I break it down by property, not number of phone calls. Because on the spreadsheet which you guys will see tomorrow when I go through the spreadsheet, that call, there's 4 or 5 different phone numbers on each address. So if the first one doesn't answer, I call the next one and the next one and the next one until somebody answers me and tell me I either got the wrong number, the right person, or I leave a message. And that's how it keeps going. So but I know for a fact I have time to sit and do that. So I blocked my time out for me to do that. I just told you 4 o'clock this afternoon, I might be making phone calls, but no, it's Friday. I'm not making no phone calls today. So tomorrow morning, 9 to 1, after this live that I have to do with you guys for part 4, then I can get off the phone. I can get off the live with you guys and I can start making my phone calls. And I might, on a Saturday, I might say, oh, well, I'm calling Milwaukee. So if I'm calling Milwaukee and I know Milwaukee is an hour behind me, I can't start calling Milwaukee till 10 o'clock. So I might go live at 9. So that's how you shape out your day. Now, when it comes to the admin goals, your admin goals, administration goals, you have to then, hold on a second, I'm going back through my notes, people. Hold up. Okay. So the admin goals, how many VAs am I going to hire? How many said so true? So maybe I want to revamp the working approximately 50 addresses a week. Okay. And see, that's why I'm doing this live, because there's a different way to attack your processes. And if you're making phone calls, so instead of calling, instead of calls, because you're right, 50 ain't enough. No, 50 calls is not enough a week to get you those things. But say you couple that with, I'm only going to make 50 calls. You might say you're only going to make 50 calls, but I'm going to send out 100 letters this week. I'm going to send out 250 letters this week. And some of those letters that you're going to send out are going to be to the people that you call. Okay. So these are productivity goals that will enhance your monetary goals. Like this, I send letters out on Friday. Okay. So today I have these are my thank you cards. These are going out today. These are people that I talked to this week. They either said they don't want to sell right now, they're not interested in selling at all, or they do want to sell, but not now. So I send them, I can't show you the address that's on the other side. So, and I know I flipped it first time. So I send these cute little thank you cards out. That's part of my system. Why would you send a thank you card to somebody who told you they don't want to sell their house? Easy, because when they get ready to sell it, they're going to come. You got to do things for future money. You see what I'm saying? It's not always about the right now money. Real estate is not quick. It's not a get rich quick process. It's not. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes work. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do this and get in here, and that's the problem that a lot of people have. My sister and I use my sister as an example all the time. My sister got into real estate thinking, oh, I'm going to make money. Can she make money? Oh yeah, her market is on fire right now because she doesn't live here. She lives in Atlanta. Her market in Atlanta is on fire, but she also has to put in the work. She also has to put in the marketing. She has to put in the productivity. She has to put in she has to do the lead generation. There's so many different things that you guys have to do that you guys aren't doing and that people don't do. People get into real estate. I had one person come to me and say, oh, can you coach me? Sure, but let's have a conversation first, because they wanted me to coach them one-on-one. Coaching you one-on-one, we're going to have a conversation first, because that's when I'm going to find out what you want, what you expect of me. That's where I'm going to find out and you're going to find out what I expect from you in return for my time. This is what you're going to get. So she said, well, I said, well, you need to make phone calls. Oh, I don't like talking to people. Excuse me. You don't want to talk to people. Okay. So you can text blast or you can send letters, but eventually you're going to have to talk to someone. I'm going to need you. I expect you, because you don't have any money. I expect you to at least drive for dollars and find 50 houses, 100 houses a week, so you can skip trace them, call them, and make those phone calls. Oh, I don't want to do that. Then what do you want to do? At that point, it's like, what do you want to do, sweet pea? I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you if you don't want to work. If you don't have money to start this process, to start this journey into real estate investing, if you don't have money, if you don't have credit, then you're going to have to spend some time and effort. It's called work ethic. You're going to have that in order to make money, even if it's on your first deal. I had a girl, no joke, a couple years ago. She wholesaled one property for 20, and she made a $25,000 profit. You know what she wanted that money for? To start her hairline business. She didn't want to do real estate. She wanted to learn how to wholesale so she can get one property under her belt. She got that property. She needed $30,000 to start her hair business. Bundles, or selling bundles and setting up websites and all this other stuff. She needed that to get inventory in so she could ship it out. That's what she needed. So she took real estate and did what she needed to do. And now she's making a crap ton of money off her bundles. So this is why I tell people, you don't have to quit you don't have to quit your day job. You can use real estate as a side hustle, but you still have to have systems in place so that money continues to flow. You still have, no matter if you're going to do Airbnb, wholesale, flips, building a portfolio of rentals, trying to buy multifamily investments, whatever it is that you're going to do with real estate, you still have to have systems in place. and you have to have checks and balances in place. People don't want to do that. And that's where this thing gets real ugly. Okay. Now, so when we say the monetary goals, we broke down the monetary goal. We broke down we broke down what it is we wanted to do. $100,000 in 30 days, wholesaling real estate. That's the goal. That's how you set a goal. Your goal has to have a what, it has to have a when, and it has to have a how. Okay? So that's how you set your monetary goals. Then you break it down. I need to get $20,000 a month. I need to get $30,000 a month. However many times you have to do this. So mine came out 2 days or weeks. Okay. So each week I need I need $25,000 under contract per week, because my market that I'm mostly working in is Buffalo, and Buffalo, New York takes forever to close a house. It does. So you can't, so I have to go by having assignment fees under contract and then wait for the deals to close. Okay. And that's going to be the same for you guys, because it's not like you're going to get a house under contract, it's going to close tomorrow. They still need time to run the title, do a search, and all this other stuff. So the least amount of time you can close a house in be about 7 days, unless you come into a deal. Now, don't get me wrong, I've closed a house in 2 days before, but the deal was already in place. All the title work was done. I just had to insert a new buyer. Okay. So I've done that, and we had to insert a new buyer. Other than that, that's the only time it's going to close quick, when you've already done all the preliminary stuff, and then do it that way. So give yourself grace to say, okay, like Lala just did. She came in at first, her first goal was, I'm going to make 50 calls a week. Then she said, wait a minute, that's not enough. Maybe I should do 50 properties per week. So you have to leave room for your goals to change, for your process to change. The goal doesn't change, the process of how you get there changes. And that's the one thing that people don't understand. Okay? All right. So the monetary goal is 100,000 in 30 days, wholesaling real estate. Okay? Now, how am I going to do this? How many phone calls am I going to make? How many hours a day am I going to call? How many hours a day am I going to drive for dollars? How many hours a day am I going to scroll for dollars? Because you can usually go through a neighborhood, right? You ain't got to leave your house to wholesale real estate. Okay. So who's going to help me? This is how you break down your goals. I know what I want to do. I know how I want to do it. I know when I want it done by. Now I need to know, what do I have to do to get it done? How many calls do I need to make? How many text messages do I need to send? How many letters do I need to mail out? Who's going to help me? Am I getting a VA? Can I afford a VA? Okay. Now, if I'm doing the VA, how much is a VA? My VA charges us $5 an hour. Some charge 4, some charge 8. American VAs charge 20. Okay, so that's the type of thing you want to do and get into. So you want to try and budget out what it's going to take. And that's everything we're going to go through tomorrow morning. So yeah, tomorrow morning's class is going to be a little bit longer, because we're going to break down each goal, system, and everything else. And like I said, we're using me as a wholesaler to do this. You can insert your own goal and the way you want to do it. Some people want to acquire rental properties. You have acquisition goals instead of a monetary goal, like I have. I have a monetary goal, but I don't have an acquisition goal yet. I have an acquisition goal for Q4, but not for Q3. And that's another thing when you're in business. And this is the thing I tell you guys all the time. I don't teach and coach individuals. I teach people who want to build businesses that are going to be consistently profitable. Okay, that's what we're doing. So now, just to get you guys into this and to have more of how we're going to do this, the monetary, acquisition, productivity, admin, and systems. As your business, you want to set your business up now for the next phase. So if I want $100,000 in 30 days, I have to say, okay, I broke down the goal that I needed per week, which is 25,000 a week. So by, what day is this? next week, Friday, which will be the 26th. So by 5/26, I need to have $25,000 in the contract, right? Then the next week is June 5. Okay, Monday's the 5th, 6, 7, 8, 9. So by June 9th, I have to have another 25,000 under contract. So yeah, because that's 5 days. Oh no, I'm sorry. June 3rd. June 2nd. June 2nd. So by June 2nd, I need another 25,000. Then by June 9th, I need another 25,000. And then by June 16th, I need another 25,000. Sounds better that way, right? Now, if May 26th comes and I still only have that $9,000 under contract, what am I going to do? I'm going to add 16,000 to June 2nd. And that's how that works. So for me, it's monetary. I don't have a number of properties. I have a monetary goal. So if I'm doing that, if I'm like, okay, so I still only have 9,000. So by May 26th, which is next week, I need to have another $16,000 under contract. How am I going to do that? That's what I need to know. Now, how am I going to get this next 16,000? Well, a girl just sent me 5 properties in Atlanta. Let me look at that list and see, do I have buyer criteria? Because like I said, in the wholesaling, in the Get Wired Wholesaling Bootcamp and in the wholesaling course that I teach you guys how to organize and build your buyers list so you know what your buyers are looking for and you know their criteria. So when I say, you go in and you say, hey, does so and so, oh, this person does Atlanta. Let me see if they're interested in this. So you start calling all of your Atlanta, because you put your buyer on a spreadsheet, you'll have your buyer, their contact information, everything that's on that buyer interview sheet that I give you, everything is on there that you put in, and you know what markets they're looking for. And some people are up to 5 markets, and that's fine. So what you do is you put all the Atlanta people together and you sort that sheet by Atlanta. Okay, these people want Atlanta. All right, cool. So if you want Atlanta, if these people want Atlanta, now I'm only talking to these people because that's where my properties are. So that's what I mean by systems in place. Okay. So now I need to call that Atlanta list and say, hey, you know what? XYZ Almanapy. I've got 5 new houses that just came out. Maybe you're interested, maybe not. I just sent them to your inbox. Please let me know if this is what you want. Please let me know what we're doing. So that's why you put that in. Okay. You will ask them $16,000 you need by May 26th. So say you get a house and it's in Atlanta and you say, hey, you negotiated the deal now, and they give you 20,000. You make 20,000 on this deal. And in Atlanta, you can close between 14 to 30 days. Sometimes sooner, but we always say 14 to 30 days. So now I found a house and I did 20,000. Well, that's 4,000 more than I needed. So by June 2nd, I now only need 21,000. Say by June 2nd, because Memorial Day's in there and everything else. So I might not make that deal the next one. I might make only 5. So I made a $5,000 deal. So now I need 16,000 plus the 25,000, because my goal is still 100,000. The goal hasn't changed. Just what I have to do week to week to get it done is what has changed. Okay. All right. Now, any questions so far on how we're going to calculate our monetary goals? Because if you do have questions, you have to ask. If you don't have questions or you don't understand something, like I said, you'll always have to ask. If by any chance, I might come back on later tonight to finish this up and to give you guys a peek at the spreadsheet. But like I said, I'll definitely be on tomorrow morning and we'll get a peek at the spreadsheet. I'll probably be on about 10 a.m. my time, which is 9 o'clock Central. But that's also 7 o'clock in the morning for y'all on the East Coast, on the West Coast. So sorry. So yeah, we'll do tomorrow morning about 10, maybe 11. I'll do 11 a.m. that gives me time to do some other stuff I have to do. So 11 a.m. tomorrow, I'll come on and I'll show you guys exactly how I set this up, because that's when we're going to be talking about systems. The monetary goal is simple. You know what you have to do, and you have to say what it is, how you're going to get it done, and how and when are you going to get it done by. So it's a what, it's a how, and it's a when. And if you make it, it's another win. Okay. We appreciate the time spent. Passive princess. Yeah, I want to be a passive princess. I don't know why y'all I don't know why y'all don't think so. I'm all about it. I want to be passively, I want to have all the passive income I can, which is why I'm working my butt off right now. And when I tell you, when I get off here, I have a crap ton of other stuff that I have to do plus. So this is where we're going to stop for today, because we've been on here almost an hour. I didn't even realize we have been on here almost an hour. But we're going to stop right there for today. Tomorrow, we're going to dig deep into productivity, and we're going to wrap this all up. Tomorrow's going to be last day. Part 5 is tomorrow. It's the last day. We're going to wrap up with, we're going to do the productivity. We're going to show you the production and how I monitor my production goals. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about how it all affects and break down. So we're going to do admin, productivity, and acquisitions. I'm going to show you how to break down your acquisition goals for real estate as well. Okay. Now, before I leave out, I always like to say, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Drop them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to do this. I can be seen. If you want to follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Lisa Robinson, the Real Estate Diva. You can join my Hammers and Heels Facebook group. We do live trainings at least twice a week inside the Facebook group and YouTube and Instagram. And some of them stay. Some of them don't stay up on Instagram or YouTube, but if you're inside the group, sometimes they stay up. Now, I do have a coaching program. It's called In These Real Estate Streets, where we have modules, 4 modules. You can join that program. But as far as my one-on-one coaching program or any of my boot camps or anything like that, I have nothing going on right now with those things. We are doing a 12-week Real Estate Blueprint Academy, the 12-week Real Estate Blueprint in July 5th. That kicks off for quarter 3 officially. So from July 5th all the way through, I think, September 30th, we'll be in that thing, working it out. We'll be building portfolios, including short-term portfolios, which is for Airbnb. We'll do both arbitrage and buying, and we'll be breaking down numbers week to week. We'll be breaking down the numbers, getting you guys into that. That starts, like I said, July 5th. And what else? Right now, I think the only thing that I have available that you guys can do is a self-starter program. It's my key for beginners. I would always tell people go into In These Real Estate Streets. That is something that you definitely can go into as a beginner. Work the modules, work the criteria. You get workbooks, contracts are included in that, workbooks are included with that. You can go in there. If you are specifically wanting a certain thing, click the link in my bio. Check out the How to Work With Me section. Under that section, it tells you, Teach Me the Game, Coach. That's what the section is called, Teach Me the Game. And under Teach Me the Game, it has different modules and different courses that you can take if you want to specifically work in one certain area of real estate. Now, as most of the people who come on with me, you guys know, I have a weekly segment, and lately it hasn't been weekly because I always like to go live with other people, and schedules haven't been matching up. But the other day we did have At the Closing Table with Ryan Mitchell, and he talked about how he has flipped over 120 houses so far, and now he's getting ready to build 1,000 single family home portfolio for rentals. So you want to get into that and talk and see what Ryan was talking about with that. But At the Closing Table, if you know any, and I'm being very specific because I have a specific set of questions for this particular person. If you know a female contractor that is on Instagram, have them reach out to me, because I'd like to have them on At the Closing Table so that we can go and discuss and talk about how the dynamics and the ins and outs of contracting for real estate and being a female in a male dominated industry. All right. That's what we're doing. So I'm always looking. I'm also looking for some real estate agents to come on with me because I have a certain set of questions for you guys on that. And I need a closing attorney. So if you guys know anybody that has that type of time on their hands, they want to come out. It's usually a 30-minute to 1 hour session. In the past, we've had Credit Cleanse. We've had the Mobile Home Mommy come on and talk about how to do mobile home investments. We had Sabrina Allen come on and discuss how she does bank notes, because that's another form of real estate investing where you don't have to own any property and it's a good cash flow. Okay, so that's what that is. So if you guys have any other tried and true efforts that we're looking for here, any people that you think might be beneficial or helpful, or any other topics that you'd like me to cover, just drop me a note, drop me a DM, and we can go from there. Now, in the meantime, in between time, I like to tell you guys the same thing before I sign off. You can choose to be whatever you want in this world. I just hope that you choose to be kind, because at some point in your life, somebody's been kind to you, and it's always good to just pay kindness forward. Not only does it make you a good person, but it makes the world a better place to be. Now, I'm going to get out of here because my stomach just growled and I need to eat. It's like the going thing with these lives. I always got to eat after a live. I am wrapping up my Get Wired boot camp. We are 2 sessions away from being done with our 3rd cycle. We won't have another cycle till probably, I want to say October. It's going to be October or somewhere in there. Maybe. We'll talk about it. But in the meantime, between time, ladies, gentlemen, divas and dudes, I'll see you. Have a great day. Bye.